He has finally broken his silence, and in doing so, Jon Moxley, the man once known to the WWE Universe as Dean Ambrose, has moved fans across the world with one of the most emotional messages ever delivered in wrestling history. Just days before Crown Jewel, Moxley reached out to his former brother-in-arms, Roman Reigns, in a heartfelt and powerful statement that has everyone from longtime Shield fans to casual viewers feeling the weight of their shared history. This was not a promo, not a challenge, and not a tease for a match. It was raw emotion from one man to another, a brother reaching out through years of distance, fame, and evolution to remind another of what truly matters. The wrestling world was already buzzing with anticipation for Crown Jewel 2025, but this changed everything. In the message, Moxley's tone carried both strength and sorrow, a reflection of everything that has transpired since the Shield disbanded years ago. While Roman Reigns stands as the tribal chief in WWE, commanding the bloodline, leading with dominance, and carrying the weight of expectation, Moxley has built his own legacy in AEW, carving out a name synonymous with grit, defiance, and authenticity. Yet beneath their separate paths lies a bond that time, distance, and rivalry could never sever. When Moxley spoke, there was no bravado, no aggression, just honesty. "I've been watching you, Roman," he began, his voice steady but tinged with emotion. "I see the weight you're carrying, the dynasty you're trying to hold together." He paused, visibly gathering his thoughts before continuing. "Before Crown Jewel, I need you to remember something. Back before the championships, before the empires, before the tribal chief, there were three brothers who changed the world together." His voice cracked slightly, betraying the emotion hidden behind his usual rough exterior. "No matter what happens in Australia, no matter how many factions rise and fall, that bond we forged in the Shield, that can never be broken. I just wanted you to know that." For longtime fans, hearing those words felt like a jolt to the heart. It was more than nostalgia, it was acknowledgement. The Shield had been more than just a faction. They were a revolution, a brotherhood that redefined teamwork and loyalty in wrestling. Together, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins tore through every obstacle, united by purpose, ambition, and brotherly love. But as time passed, the three took different roads, Rollins becoming the visionary, Moxley transforming into AEW's unpredictable and fearless brawler, and Reigns ascending to become the tribal chief, the face of modern WWE. Yet, no matter how much they evolved, the roots remained the same. Moxley's message reflected an emotional maturity that transcends the scripted rivalries of wrestling. It wasn't about competition or ratings. It was about reminding Roman Reigns, beneath the championship gold, the family drama, and the godlike persona, that he's still the man who once stood shoulder to shoulder with two brothers who would bleed for him. It was Moxley's way of saying, "You're not alone, even if they're separated by company lines." The timing of this emotional outreach was crucial. Roman Reigns, in recent months, has been under more pressure than ever, leading the bloodline through betrayal, internal conflict, and the crumbling of alliances that once seemed unshakable. As Crown Jewel looms, speculation has been rampant about what's next for Reigns. Many see this as the most challenging chapter of his career, both personally and professionally. By sending his message now, Moxley wasn't just reminiscing about the past, he was extending a hand to remind Roman of his roots, his strength, and the brothers who once stood beside him when everything was simpler, purer, and real. Fans around the world couldn't stop talking about it. Social media exploded with reactions, with thousands of posts highlighting how much Moxley's words resonated with people beyond wrestling. It became more than a message to Roman. It became a statement about brotherhood, loyalty, and emotional honesty in an industry built on toughness. The message touched on the delicate balance between legacy and the present, between remembering where you came from and embracing who you've become. Moxley has always walked that line. His AEW journey has been about authenticity, breaking away from the system that once restrained him, while still carrying the lessons he learned in WWE. And now, by speaking to Roman, he bridged that divide in the most human way possible. It wasn't about AEW versus WWE, or one man being better than another. It was about mutual respect, about acknowledging the battles fought together and apart, and about never forgetting the fire that started it all. This wasn't just another wrestling story. It was an emotional chapter that blurred the line between fiction and reality. When Moxley spoke those words, fans could see that he wasn't acting. His eyes told a story of shared pain, loss, pride, and gratitude. For years, Moxley has been portrayed as the lunatic fringe, the wild card, the unpredictable one. But this moment revealed something deeper, a heart that never forgot his beginnings or the brothers who stood beside him when the world first took notice. And for Roman Reigns, the message hit home. The man who now stands at the top of WWE, the tribal chief, the head of the table, has sacrificed more than anyone knows. The burden of leadership, the expectations of family, the unending demand to be invincible, it's a heavy load. To hear from someone who knows that weight, who's been in the trenches with him, was more powerful than any scripted speech could ever be. Many fans believe that this could mark a turning point for Roman. With Crown Jewel approaching, some speculate that the message could inspire reflection, a moment where the tribal chief remembers the man he used to be, the brother who once believed in unity more than dominance. Could it lead to a Shield reunion? The idea seems far-fetched on paper, but in wrestling, emotion often fuels the impossible. The bond between Moxley, Reigns, and Rollins is one of the most iconic in the sport's history, and moments like this remind fans that Brotherhood never truly fades, it only transforms. The reaction across the wrestling world has been overwhelming. EW fans praised Moxley for showing vulnerability, something rarely seen from him. WWE fans, meanwhile, were deeply moved by the sincerity of his words. Even neutral observers could see the humanity beneath the larger-than-life personas. This wasn't a publicity stunt. It was a genuine act of love and respect between two men who once shared everything. It also highlighted something deeper about wrestling itself, that beyond the championships, rivalries, and theatrics, the performers are real people with real connections. Moxley's message to Roman pulled back the curtain and reminded the world of that truth. It wasn't about competition or brand loyalty. It was about reminding the audience that even in a world of scripted drama, the emotions can be very real. In his own way, Moxley gave the fans what they didn't know they needed, a reminder of why the Shield mattered. Their story wasn't just about dominance or destruction. It was about unity in chaos, loyalty under fire, and brotherhood that transcends fame. Even though the three men now walk different roads, their connection continues to inspire fans around the globe. As Crown Jewel approaches, speculation continues to swirl. Will Roman Reigns respond? Will this emotional message be acknowledged publicly?